so let's jump into the code and see what this looks like. So basically what we need to do is break out this widgets component into a few subcomponents and wire it up using input and output. So let's see what we have right now. This is kind of what we want to end up with, and this is what we're working with. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and just get this out of the way. I'm going to go into the widget service, and Scott was being a little wild here with this crazy map thing that he's doing, which I appreciate very much. Well, I'm actually going to convert this back to a static structure because it doesn't translate to a JSON very well as is. So we'll go ID 1, name, widget 1. I for some reason just feel intuitively that widgets should cost money. We'll just go here. It would be really handy if there was a WebStorm plugin or an IDE plugin in general that you could actually do a column select, and then for every number in that column, it would just basically loop through and increment it by 1. So if anybody's listening...
Sublime does that.
Oh, just stop.
Isn't there an online service that'll create you a whole pile of dummy data?
Probably.
I bet there is.
A good one.
Sublime has column select in the multi-row and the increment numbers.
So, I mean, I know you can do column select, but it'd be interesting to be say like, oh, I'm at 1, or I got it 1, so I'd like to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
Excel does it.
Excel. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to Excel. We're going to knock this out, and well, I'll go home. Thank you. All right, so now I have a widgets collection here. We'll hop into here, and see if this is rendering on the page. Yes, it is. So the first thing we need to do is create a widgets-list component and put this in here. So we'll go here, new file. Sure, why not? Widgets list. Actually, hold on, did I do... Oh, yes. Now check this out. Actually, I messed this up. Let's do this one more time. So this is the live template that I sent out. Go like this. Widgets list. Now some of this I'm actually going to delete. Because we're going to do it inline, but at least we're started. And the reason why I actually had view encapsulation for none is because I was actually using an Angular 2 material library, not the Angular 2 material library, and I was having some issues with my styling. But now you know. Okay, from here, let's go and I need to import input. Input widgets. Did I do this wrong? Oh. I don't have an interface for this yet, but we'll just click that. Then from here, we'll just dump this out on the screen. Like so. Am I missing anything? If I'm just pulling widgets in, I think I'm okay. Then we'll go back to our widgets here. There we go. Fix line 3.
Yeah, it's not a relative path.
Error 5. Psst. Doing a property binding here because it's an input. Widgets. Okay, let's hop back into here and hopefully this is widgets, widgets, widgets. Ooh. So I've overloaded widgets. And so this happens actually frequently where I'll have a component that is actually represents a list of something. And so I'll say, oh, it's widgets. But then you can see here, selector is widgets, but then I'm trying to actually do it down here as well, and this is confusing. So I believe that's why that's happening. Just refresh to make sure. Let's double check. I may be wrong. Widgets, JSON. So it's there. It's not getting in here. So let's see what I have done wrong.
I don't think you passed the widget type into your service.
What's that?
I don't think you passed the widget type to your service.
Does your component need a list of directives it can use? Includes
So I added the widgets list in here. Oh. Ha ha ha. You know what?
Exact same mistake I made.
So, word to the wise, if you mess this up, nothing's going to happen. And I do this all the time.
You'll want to call that directives.
I don't do that all the time. Think about live coding in front of people, man, you got to be fearless. All right, there we go. So, in case anybody was curious, widgets list is a directive, not a provider. Okay, so now the first condition of the challenge is completed.